Hey ecofictologists, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lovis and this week we are taking a trip down memory lane. My parents are currently moving out of their house. That means they have unearthed some old things of mine that they have now sent me, which took me on a trip down memory lane, and some of it was actually quite entertaining, and so I wanted to share it with you. So I am going to share some of my writing and attempts at world building from when I was in like 8th grade. So I was very keen on poetry when I was young, apparently. So I have 2 poems to read you, and in my science class, we had to come up with a fictional planet and design its environment and its inhabitants. So I haven't actually read through that one because I saw it and I knew the reactions needed to be genuine and spontaneous because it's gonna be ridiculous. So we're just gonna see what 7th, 8th, 9th grade Lovis had up her sleeve. I don't know which video it was, but I remember talking about it before, that I've been writing all my life. As long as I can remember, I've always written stories, and apparently poetry I was very keen on. And looking back at them, they almost always had to do with nature. And that is no different for the 2 poems I'm going to read you today. So this one, it's called Ode to the Sea, and I wrote it in 2007. How old was I? I was 14. I was 14 in 2007. Okay. So it's called Ode to the Sea. The rhythmic pulse of the waves on the shore washes the sands and clears it of footprints. The low rumble of its heartbeat can be felt inside, and you become one. There is a whole other world underneath the blue surface, with just as many residents as on land that depend on the sea for life support. No matter how much we pollute it, the ocean holds no grudge and continues to do what it has always done, and supplies us with things that are not rightfully ours to begin with. Something as ugly as a shard of glass can be turned into something as beautiful as sea glass, with nothing but the wear and tear of the water to round its edges. This magnificent body has shaped our world with mountains, rocks, beaches, and islands. And no matter how much man tries to change it with boardwalks, the sea is always the same, in a sense. Though storms may make it bubble and bring white caps to the surface, the sea will always be there, just the same, like a loyal companion. It has the strength to pull a tree trunk with just a wave, as though it weighed nothing. It is raw power. So that was my 14-year-old ode to the sea. That's funny that there's the reference to sea glass in there, because I have always collected sea glass. Every time I go to the beach, yes, of course I want to take in my entire environment and how beautiful it is, but more often than not, I'm like this. I'm looking down because I'm looking for sea glass. Maybe one day I'll show you my sea glass crafting, because I make jewelry out of the sea glass now. But it looks like when I was 14, I was already obsessed with sea glass, and I've always been obsessed with the sea, so that's nothing new. So that was Ode to the Sea. That was when I was 14. This must have been when I was 16. This is when I was 16, and we had moved to Switzerland, so this was a different school. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll show you the picture that because there's there's the poem, then there's the blurb about the author, and then there's a picture of me. Oh, I don't know if I want this on the internet, but we'll find out. So this poem is called Weavers of Kelp. This was supposed to be one of those poems. I think it was like an exercise that we did, and it was supposed to be one of those poems where you have to guess who's writing it. So let's see if you can guess who's writing it. I lie on my back and wrap myself in kelp, so the pulse of the waves won't wash me away. I stare at the endless sky as my ocean-like crib rocks me to sleep. My slick fur is waterproof, cold-proof, a lot of other things proof. So I don't mind that clouds form in front of my nose. The rushing of the waves, the soft whispering of the salty wind sings me to sleep. When I dive and play and go about my business, people may mistake me for a seal, though they just lay around fat and lazy, sunning themselves, then slipping into the water so as not to shrivel to nothing. Men hunt me for my gorgeous fur. It is quite nice, isn't it? I've heard that children press their grubby little fingers to glass cages to goggle at my relatives. We are adorable creatures, if I do say so myself. Many peoples find me very interesting. The Celts revered me. Indian tribes say I am the best of the divers. Well, sigh, I am. Aboriginals called me a trickster. My kind used to be free souls of the sea, crackers of abalones, users of tools, weavers of kelp. Now they lock us up in a glass cage we can't escape from. The current is fake, the people are annoying, the fish are not fresh enough. I keep hitting my head on that stupid invisible wall. Humans will brainwash us all into forgetting the freedom of splashing in the waves and swimming without boundaries. They'll take away our meaning. Oh my goodness. That got dark real quick. Okay, so I haven't actually read this through before just now, so the bit about the Celts and the Indian tribes and the Aboriginals surprised me. If there was something inappropriate or not quite right with how that was said, please excuse 16-year-old me. I'm sure I did some kind of research, but I don't remember. Just give 16-year-old me the benefit of the doubt, please. That was not very subtle in who was writing it, I imagine. I imagine pretty much everybody knows who was writing that. It seems that I have written ecofiction, always. Both of these have mentioned human impacts on the environment back to when I was 14 and I was writing stuff. So we had pollution of the ocean, and we had putting animals in cages and aquariums and stuff. I do have a love-hate relationship with aquaria. I love certain ones and I really hate other ones. I acknowledge that they are really important for education and outreach and inspiring young people. They inspired me. The reason I wanted to be a marine biologist was because of the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and now I am one. So I completely acknowledge their usefulness. Clearly, when I was 16, I was also fighting with this particular type of wildlife outreach and education. You can let me know what you think about them in the comments below. So just for shits and giggles, really, I'll read you the about the author blurb that I wrote when I was 16. About the author. I am a short, easygoing, generally nice, fun 10th grader. My idea of a perfect day would be snow outside and me sitting at the fireplace with a good book or lots of Disney movies to watch. Not a lot has changed in the last 12 years. I am a total bookworm and mostly love to read fantasy books, but any will do, except biographies, historical novels, and of course, textbooks. That was sassy. I love to listen to and play music. I want to grow up to be a marine biologist, and the most important things in my life are my friends. So apart from the age, actually nothing has changed. Although historical novels, I do like historical novels. I do like them now, so that has changed. Still not such a massive fan of textbooks, but I don't have to read them as often, and I still love fantasy books. I didn't say in here that I love to write, although I was already writing at the time, just for fun. Okay. I don't know whether to include a picture of or just show you here the way I decided to advertise myself when I was 16. What is that? What do I think I am? Cool? Look at me. What is that? What am I doing? Anyway, 16-year-old me thought I was cool. Little did she know. So that is it for the writing. And now comes the thing I was most excited to share with you. It is it's also 2007, so I was 14. Attempt at world building for this science project. Now, I decided my fantasy planet would be called Montenegro. Definitely thought I was naming it after the character in Bones, the TV series. Completely unaware that there is a country called Montenegro. Oops. I'm amazed that my teacher did not point this out to me. Definitely a no-no. I have no excuse for that. I have nothing. I got nothing. But this is what I decided the emblem or some kind of symbol for Montenegro should be. This is what I decided it should be. I'm going to stop referring to it as Montenegro because this just makes me very uncomfortable. So I'm going to just say this fantasy world. I cannot believe I did that. Oh well. So, table of contents. What do we have in store for us? We've got astronomy, plate tectonics, rocks and minerals, weather and seasons, water, biology, chemistry, atoms and elements, forces and physics, picture of a Chile. I guess that'll be my life forms on this planet that I apparently decided to call Chilleys, and a picture of this planet. So I won't read you everything, obviously, but I will edit this so that you get the best bits. So astronomy. This planet lies by one of the stars in the constellation Aquarius. That is my zodiac. So I decided to make it all about me, apparently. It is older than Earth by about 10 billion years, but it originated in the same way. Where Earth had a big bang, the same kind of thing happened in the Aquarius constellation. Oh, good lord. Wow. I got real astronomical here. Easy to locate between Fomalhaut to the south and the Great Quadrilateral of Pegasus to the north. It limits the north with Pisces, Pegasus, Equuleus, and Delphinus. To the east with Aquila and the south with Capricornius, Pisces, Ostranus, and Scultor, and to the west with the constellation of Cetus. I definitely stole that from Wikipedia. I am 100% sure I did not write those words. I couldn't even spell those words. This is definitely plagiarism. 100% plagiarism. Okay, then we get into the plate tectonics and continents. The volcanoes are named Monte Luter, Monte Kento, Monte Morga, and Monte Yanka. Cannot confirm nor deny whether I made those up. I do not remember. Oh, and the 4 continents are called Kento, Luter, Morga, and Yanka. I was so creative. Oh my goodness. They all share the same ocean that is called Leroy. Oh my. Rocks and minerals. The volcanoes on this planet are basaltic volcanoes. Basalt compositions are rich in magnesium oxide and carbon dioxide and are low in silicon dioxide plus potassium oxide relative to most common igneous rocks. The minerals in igneous rocks are quartz, feldspar, and pyroxene, also 100% plagiarized. Sorry, Wikipedia. Oh my god, there's so much plagiarism. I mean, what is this? Weather and seasons. This planet has a 27-degree tilt and has 4 seasons that are 7 years apart. I don't think I did calculations on that. I think I just assigned things. Oh, and because the seasons are 7 years apart, things are like frozen for 7 years. And then they thaw, and it's a really nice spring and summer 14 years and then it gets real cold for the next 14, and winter is just solid. That would have some knock-on effects for culture and storytelling, let me tell you. Oh, here we go. Biology. The most evolved and intelligent creatures are the Chilleys, with EYS at the end, thank you. They have evolved from the water dwellers and can now travel on both land and in water. Their hands and feet are scaly and webbed for better swimming, and have suction cups on the bottom for climbing and walking on land. They can stand upright and are very fast runners and jumpers. Their tails are long and slender and have little hairs and threads on the end for luring prey from the water. That's kind of cool. These tails also help them accelerate in the water and climb the volcanoes better. Right. They have both lungs and gills and enable them to breathe in and out of the water. They are omnivores, meaning they can eat both plants and animals, and are at the top of the food chain. Reproduction is fairly simple with Chilleys. The females lay eggs. They reproduce just like Earth's amphibians. They must lay their eggs underwater and then bury them as they incubate, and then, after 7 weeks, hatch. Once they do, a group of Chilleys takes turns taking care of the young as the parents hunt. It is sort of like an underwater nursery. Aww. These are very intelligent and very maternal creatures. They stay with their young until the babies are fully grown. Well, I gave them a culture. Okay, we are not going to talk about atoms and elements because I'm 100% sure... Oh my gosh, I actually came up with a new element? Ha! That's funny. The atmosphere around this planet is made up of oxygen, nitrogen, argon, carbon dioxide, and another element that fights poisonous and harmful gases and in the atmosphere like carbon monoxide. This element is called keftogen. Keftogen's atomic symbol is K. Definitely potassium. Usually this element forms in groups of 3, giving you K3. When keftogen is in groups of 3, it is very stable and can attack any element. Scientists on Earth are very anxious to bring this element back to Earth. K3 would be very helpful for our environment. If we could recreate this element, that would be the end of air pollution, ozone destruction, and cleaner air for everyone. Hey, I even snuck it in here. I even snuck some ecofiction in here. Oh, I made up a new one too. The main components that are in the water on Earth are also found in the ocean on this planet, except for salt. Okay. But instead of H2O, it's H3O2V. V stands for verdigen. Okay, green. Verdigen. Which is a unique element that makes the water in the oceans green. This element also attacks harmful substances in the water and helps plants grow. If this verdigen comes in contact with keftogen, it forms VK. VK is a whole other element. Very unstable, words, and only exists for a split second, but it sparkles and looks like fireworks in the sky. Oh my god, I love this. This only happens when a volcano erupts and pushes all the water out of the crater at once. The water rushes down to the ocean and creates a sort of tsunami. Oh my god. Which in turn creates this natural firework display of VK. Basically, the elements on land are those that are in the lava that spews out of volcanoes. These elements are silicon and oxygen. This is also similar to Earth. There is a third element called gumigen. When lava cools down to a certain temperature, and the Chileans know the exact temperature, it is cool enough to handle, but it is still warm enough to be flexible and bendable. Flexible enough to be made into boats and other tools and accessories that the Chilleys want or need. Once the form is made, the Chilleys dip the creation in water and it instantly becomes light as a feather, but hard as rock. I am actually tempted to write something with this kind of culture. We're on to forces in physics. All of the machines that the Chilleys use are solar powered. The star this planet revolves around is very bright and provides enough power to make the boats that the Chilleys made move. The rest of the machines are wind powered, as there's a lot of wind around this planet. Oh! You guys. This is what a Chilley looks like. Ah! Look, this is its hands with little suckers. Apparently that's the thumb. These are its gills. These are its eggs. This is its like hairy tail. And these are its feet. Oh my god, I love it. Look, I even drew the collarbone. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Well, now you know what a chili looks like. You needed that in your life, I'm sure. So, here we are. That was my 14-year-old attempt at world building. I don't know, I mean, some of it is highly questionable, but some of it is bloody cool. I don't know if any of it is even possible or like with physics and things, but I came up with some cool stuff that would really create a unique society and culture. So I'm actually super proud of that. And I love this Chilleys. I love this chili thing. I don't know why I called them that. No idea. Anyway, that was fun. That was a fun little trip down memory lane. Thank you, Mr. Judnick, who was my science teacher in 2007. We'll see if my world building skills have gotten any better if and when any of my work sees the light of day. We'll find out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little romp into 14 to 16-year-old me's past. I literally have nothing else to, I can't, I'm reeling actually. So this was a lot of fun for me. Let me know if it was fun for you in the comments down below. And let me know if you have ever read some of your old writing and found it hilarious. Or if you were really impressed with yourself, because that is also cool. Yeah, let me know in the comments. That's it from me this week. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every week. I try to. And I'll see you next week, ecofictologists.